good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Dave Branch here again, ready to do another webinar. This one's titled Using Testimonials and References. I'm going to kind of skipper this ship right now, and Rob's going to help us in the crow's nest, make sure we don't hit any icebergs or anything. So I guess with that, we'll...
I'm Rob Cosgrove, and thanks, Dave, and everybody who's attending right now. We are recording this, so we'll be able to put it on the website afterwards, and those of you who want to review it can review it online, and those of you who aren't here and aren't hearing my voice right now can also review it online later. If you have any questions, use your webinar console there to ask the questions, and I'll pass them on to Dave, and Dave will try to help you out. He'll try to answer your questions just any time you want. Okay, thanks, Dave.
No problem. Thank you, Rob. And he's correct. We'll try to answer them as we go along, but we also are dedicating some time at the end for questions and answers. So we'll go ahead and get started. Well, I say we'll get started. There we go. Okay. Kind of want to start off the first part of it with a famous quote, see if you guys know who this is. Success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. And boy, I guess not only is this true in sales, but I'm sure that you guys go out and have to fix a PC one day and it don't work so good. But I tell you now, if you don't keep your enthusiasm up, it's very, very hard to go forward. So that was a quote by Sir Winston Churchill. First thing I'm doing is doing a little bit of comparison because there's a true difference between testimonials and references. Testimonials are primarily comments, quotes, and other data received from your customer. And they're real powerful, but they're not personal. And they're very, very easy to obtain, not only by a salesperson, but even a technical person. All you have to do is simply ask. And you can use them on your website. You can use them in your marketing media, and you could even have a quotation on your phone systems, since no one tends to answer the phone. The references are customers who are willing to have one of your new opportunities contact them. They're powerful and personal, and they really are the best-selling tool ever. You know, I'd have to say if you have an opportunity that is 70% committed to go forward, you're going to win the business if you have a good reference. They're actually very easy to obtain, yet difficult to keep if handled incorrectly, and they definitely help you win business. And you know, this is testimonials and references, but I want to take just a second here to tell you about rewards, because we're going to talk about that a little bit further. But a reward is something given to one of your team members for accomplishing something that benefits either yourself or your company. Rewards can also, by the way, be used with your references. And a really good example is just keep a couple of gift cards in your desk for places that families like to eat, but certainly please don't make them McDonald's. You know, you can get some gift cards that are $20, $30, $50. Put them in your desk, and one of your techies or someone could take him and his wife to Outback, and if you only gave them 30 and it was 40, they'd still have a wonderful dinner. And it's really quite amazing because I used to give them out to my salespeople when they got me good references or good testimonials. And it's amazing how when you hand out the first one, how many more you start handing out, because everyone knows that so-and-so got the gift card and they want to get a gift card. And it's amazing. A $30 gift card is almost like giving somebody a $100 bonus if you're doing it in front of a group of people. And before we really get going real good here, Rob's got a questionnaire for you guys. If you remember last time we did one, we tried to do a few to kind of break things up and gather some data. Go ahead, Rob.
Dave, I've got some bad news. We programmed all these polls into the GoToWebinar interface, and it's the first time I've ever seen it lose the polls. They're not. None of them are there, so I can't put up any polls.
No problem at all. A couple of them, I remember, we'll do it at the end of questions and answers, and
sure,
guys, we'll get this thing right sometime. So we talked a little bit about the differences. Now let's just talk about testimonials for a moment. And I've thrown up another famous quote to see if you figure out who this is. There are worse things in life than death. Have you ever spent an evening with an insurance salesman? Anybody know what it is? Good old Woody Allen. Testimonials are, like we said, are comments, quotes, and other data received from your customers. And Rob's done a wonderful job of getting lots of testimonials, and I'll show later on how we show them off. And I'll just breeze through this, but I'm not going to read these to you. You can go ahead and read them. But after you get done reading one, you can also see the impact that it possibly has on someone who would be looking at our product. In some testimonials, you can see, gosh, I could have used that one over on Bill, and Bill would have loved it. And, you know, you can always put testimonials in your email or at the bottom of your email.
So, Dave, are you going to tell us how to approach people to get these testimonials? How do you get somebody to tell you it's okay to put this on your website?
Absolutely. You know, while you guys are reading some of these, I've got a few more. I'll go ahead and address that. I've got some of it in the slideshow, but Rob brings up a very good point. You get a testimonial, but you need to make sure that it's okay with them to post that on your website, and it's fairly easy. You know, like I said, you just ask. The best people that can get testimonials are probably your techs, because they're the ones that are in the trenches with your customers. And, you know, a technician always knows when he leaves an account whether he did a good job or not, or whether it was perceived to have been a good job or not. And all they simply got to do is, you know, when you're shaking hands, getting ready to leave, is just say, hey, Bill, you know, one thing that helps my company become successful is getting nice and good comments or testimonials from good customers like yourself. Would you mind just sending me an email with a blurb of how you feel about our account and how we take care of you? And with your blessing, I'd like to go ahead and just use that. We use that in media. We use it on our website, and I will certainly put your name and company name on there. And it also becomes a bit of a marketing tool for you. So, you know, that's a good way to explain it, and it's a very, very good time to ask for it.
Dave, speaking from experience, as somebody who's not a salesperson, I am a techie, it is a difficult thing to ask for that. It's just hard for me to do, and I've managed to do it over the years, but boy, it's hard.
Well, you know, then what I would do is, and it's you know, a form of shyness, which I don't see a lot in you too often. However, all you got to do is call your sales rep, call the owner of the company, and said, you know, I just finished up over with John, and I mean, he just loved what we did. He'd be perfect for a testimonial. Would you call him and ask him for it? And you know, if you guys are thinking that way, you're going to start piling up good testimonials. And that was a good point to bring up, Rob. But in taking a look at this slide, this happens to be the home page of our website. And if you'll look right down in here, it's where Rob puts the testimonial, and I'm going to use the word plurally because what he does is he has that testimonial change, and you know, I've never paid attention to it. You know, was it like every 5 minutes, Rob?
It changes with every page refresh.
Okay. And it's not just there. He has it in other places on the website. But it just, you know, if it's changing or if they're seeing it, for some reason, people's eyes are drawn to those testimonials. Now, you do get some people that are locked in on the technical everything. But, you know, it's a really, really good place if your website's visited a lot to store your testimonials. And it's real easy, too, because, you know, if you're on your website, you can always cut and paste that testimonial into a document or anything else. Now, I actually put them on my quotations. It's a quotation that we have. And if you'll see right there, I put them there. And occasionally I go change them. But I'm trying to, you know, a quotation is a time where someone's ready to buy from you, and sometimes there's sticker shock and everything else. But it certainly is a comforting type thing for say, a manager that has to sign off on the quotation, or even a purchasing agent, to see something positive said about remote backup. It sometimes takes that sting out of having to buy something. And they're very, very easy to do. I don't know if you guys all have standard quotes, but you can cut and paste a testimony on there in, I think it's 3 clicks. I mean, you can put them anywhere. So, you know, if you want to make a bumper sticker for your car with a testimonial, if you want to, no matter where you want to put it, it's just a very, very nice touch. It helps close business, and it also, in some cases, helps eliminate objections, where someone might have seen some of your testimonials and don't really have to ask you a couple of questions because the testimonial answered it for them. You know, Rob, before I get going, are we getting any questions and answers or questions?
No, we don't have any questions yet. And I want to remind everybody, if you do have questions or comments, just pop them there into the questions section of the webinar panel on your desktop.
And I think that's the true difference between a technical presentation and sales. The technical ones, people certainly want to do it. This is where Rob would be doing another nice questionnaire for us, but we'll save those for next time. Okay, let's try out one more famous quote. Even if you are on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. And I mean, just think about that one as you're going out trying to get new accounts. You know, it's one of those things where, you know exactly what track to go on, and you're doing it, but if you just hang around, it's not going to happen for you. This old Will Rogers said that one. I think Will had a lot of really, really good famous quotes. Okay, let's talk a little bit about references, what I can kind of consider the backbone of selling. References will allow you to speed up the sales cycle, and in most cases, it will eliminate what I call FUD. And FUD is something that's been around for quite a while. I actually learned about it. I took an IBM sales class many, many moons ago, and it's called fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And when you're buying something new, you know, you have fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And when that goes away, you're much more prone to go ahead and make the purchase. Okay, from a reference standpoint, how do you use them, and how do they really become effective? Let's say you have 2 very strong objections from a new opportunity. Let's assume you've built a reference list of 5, 2, 10, it doesn't matter what it is. The objection is, the last time we attempted to use an outside service for the cost of monthly backup wasn't bad. The on-site charges by the technical team killed us. And a really good response, if you had a good reference that you could identify that with, you could say, Tom, it would be easy for me to assure you that we can handle 90% of your entire backup process from our facility. But why don't you call Bill Pratt at We Have Data? He had the exact question about a year ago. Would you like his number, or would you like me to have him contact you? Now, that last part's very key, and we'll talk a little bit more about it further on, but that's the softest way of letting him know that that Bill will call him, or that he can call Bill. And it kind of shuts down the above objection, right? Would you like his number, or would you like me to have him contact you? Okay. He is so thinking about that right now that he's forgetting a little bit about the on-site charges that are bothering him. Let's take a look at another one. How can we be assured that all our data is backed up and secure, being backed up and secure, excuse me? Tom, as part of the software we use to back up your system, both George Smith and Joe Black had equal concerns and are pleased to get an email with the day and the time of each backup. Would you like their numbers, or would you like me to have them contact you? See, use the same closing issue. And, I'm sure that you guys probably have that question asked quite a bit, especially by some of the smaller companies. I don't want to call doctors neophytes, but they don't know what backend data is up, or no, neither do dentists and some other people. And so that's going to be a real big concern of theirs.
Dave, we got a question here if you want to take it.
Okay. Sure.
Somebody wants to know, how do you get those people to agree to do that? That seems like a lot of work on customers' behalf to have him help sell for you.
Okay. I tell you what, I think it's one or two more slides from now. I've got the do's and the don'ts for reference selling, and we will definitely be talking about how to get them to do it, number one, and also what you need to do to make sure that they continue to do it. So I think that might even be the next slide. Rob will definitely address, and I'll make sure that we answer that. Another quote, flaming enthusiasm, backed by horse sense and persistence, is a quality that most frequently makes for success. Well, that's a great one, isn't it? Flaming enthusiasm. Dale Carnegie. I don't think I would have ever thought that he would have come up with that one, but that's one of my favorite quotes. What's the next slide? Okay. Let's try to answer that question. I'm going to read through these, and I'm going to readdress that. Some of the do's are most people that have them forget to use them. That certainly doesn't answer your question, because you need to gather them. Okay, now this is absolutely no difference than the techie getting a testimonial. Okay, first of all, it is easier to get testimonials than it is to get references. But as you start getting testimonials, you're going to know the person that gave you the testimonial. You're going to know the company. And if I was looking for references, I would start looking through my testimonials. I would identify the one that seemed very, very positive. They're all going to be positive. You're not going to post a negative one. And I would simply go visit that account. You probably hadn't visited them in a while, and just let them know you want to stop by and see how things are going. Have something that you can sell him while you're there too. But at that moment, say, listen, I don't know if you're being affected like everyone else with the economy and kind of the drawbacks. And boy, it's real tough getting new business now, and you really seem to enjoy working with us. Could I ask a favor of you? And he's going to say yes. And so the gentleman that you used the comment with, would you like Bill's number, or do you want me to have him call you? As soon as you get in the parking lot, call Bill on your cell phone. And even if you have to leave him a voicemail, whatever, just say, Bill, I was just at company X talking with Tom. He's very interested in speaking to you about the topic. And that'll be it. If he's a reference, everything's fine. Ask your reference to contact the opportunity. Sometimes the opportunity will not call the reference. So he says, yes, I would like to have Bill's number to talk to, and gets tied up with a whole bunch of other things. You go back a week later to close the deal, and he has not talked to Bill, and he still has the same problem. He wants it addressed. So I would always, the second day after I gave him the name to call, I would then call my reference and say, remember I left you a voicemail regarding Tom calling you, and he may be tied up and busy. Do you have a moment during the day where you might be able to just give him a quick call? He's going to say yes or no. And so keep it professional, and just remember that. After a reference is used, call the reference back and thank him. Okay, that's one way of thanking him. Do not forget to do that. He did you an incredible favor. Keep track of the positive calls made and be certain reference, and then send him one of your reward cards. Let's say that you've you've used him 3 times in the past 2 months, and all 3 pieces of business closed. You know he had something to do with that. Well, with sending the reward card, you could couple it with the very next statement. Thank you cards. I learned how to do that a long time ago. I do not do them now. There's a chance after I do this, I'm going to start doing it again. You know, you can buy a small box of thank you cards for about $5 for 20 or so. They simply are blank on the inside. They say thank you. They come with envelopes. As soon as that guy does a reference and it goes well, before I went home that night, I'd open up my thank you card, and I would, say something simple like, once again, your reference was golden. Thanks, Bill. Put it in the envelope, hand write the address, put a real stamp on it, and mail it to him. And when he opens it up, I guarantee you he gets a smile on his face, and actually has probably not received a thank you card in Lord knows how many years. And it is just, years ago, I did it all the time for years and years and years. I would get a phone call sometimes from them, just saying, that was a nice touch. I really do appreciate it. Or I've even gone to a meeting with one of them a month or 2 later, and the thank you card being sitting on their desk. And so if you really want to score big, the 3rd time Bill helps you, put one of your reward cards inside the thank you card, and simply just thank him for what he did for you. Try that, please. Don't overload your reference. His time is valuable too. If you start having 3 people a week, 3 people, every 2 days calling, he's going to drop you, and he's going to be mad at you. And if he's mad at you, the next time something goes wrong in his building, he's liable to drop you for another vendor. Now, I don't want to scare you off from using references, because when he says yes to being a reference, you could simply say, Tom, I don't want to abuse your time. Would once a week, once every 2 weeks work for you? If he says, yeah, or he may come back and say, have people call me anytime you want. And then you actually log that so that you do it the way he wishes it. Don't ever forget to thank him. Don't forget it. Either the phone call, the thank you card, however you want to handle it, but you have to thank him. Don't allow a new opportunity to contact blind. And what I mean by that is you walk out of Tom's office and he's supposed to call Bill. You get in your car, you go about your way, you get busy, and the next day the phone call goes down. Now, Bill may not call you and go, well, I didn't know so-and-so was going to call me, but he certainly deserves the professionalism of you forewarning that phone call. And when you call him, you want to make sure that you explain to him, Tom's calling you, Bill. Here is his biggest concern with us doing his backup. So now he knows when that call comes, he's prepared himself to be able to answer that in a positive way that you benefit from. And please don't forget their value. Now I know that's almost redundant, thanking them and everything else, but, don't forget their value. The guy's, over the course of the year, he's helped you close 6 pieces of business. He needs a new proposal from you. And, when you're all done and putting the final dollar amount on it, you might want to write a little note and stick it in the quote send it and say, hey, Bill, look, here's the final quotation. But I do want to let you know we appreciate the referencing that you do for us. Whoever's going to process that order, please let them know that that I'd like to go ahead and honor another 10% discount. Okay, and I'm not trying to tell you to lose money on the deal, make the quote higher and put the 10%. But
yeah, that's not going to happen, Dave.
I know. So kind of in a summary layout here before we get into some questions and answers. If you don't ask for a testimonial reference, you're certainly not going to have any of them. You have to ask. If your techie doesn't want to, then you ask for him. But I'll tell you what, those techies that don't want to, when you hand out a gift card to a different techie in your building and the other ones see it, they're probably going to ask for testimonials. I mean, and the next one's almost that. Reward your team for obtaining references. They close business. Testimonials can be obtained easy and can be placed anywhere. Use them to your advantage. Never, ever have a reference called blind. I mean, of all the things I want you to learn here, that one can cause you pain and can cause your reference pain. Call a reference when having a bad day and see how they are. You'll feel much better. You know, your references are people that like you. You've been out battling the streets all week long, and it's Friday afternoon, and you're driving by Tom's, your references building, and you pick the cell phone up, call him, and just ask him how his week went and how he's doing, or pull in the parking lot and do the same thing. It'll brighten you up for the weekend. And our last famous quotation before we go to some questions and answers: if you sit around and wait on the phone to ring, you will go penniless. You guys, before I kind of go a little further, I'm wanting to do my next webinar on prospecting. I've been asking a lot of questions as I call out and speak to the MSPs and the service providers, and I'm learning ways that they're winning prospecting and ways that they're losing because of lack of prospecting. And if Rob, I don't know if how many people, I mean, if they just start answering now, that sounds good, or yeah, prospecting would be a good one, or I'd be interested. That's one I'll work on. I also want to work on maybe, I'm sorry?
A couple of people have said they'd like to see that.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm going to try to do for it, too, I can't make any commitments to you, but one of my goals might be to put together just a quick flyer type thing that might be able to use while you're prospecting. And, you know, prospecting can be cold calling on the phone, or it can be cold calling in person. You know, a great thing for you owners of the companies, when you're going from point A to point B, Google doctor's offices between there and allow yourself 10 extra minutes and stop in and visit one and give them a flyer. But I want to save all that for prospecting. So, but once again, if you sit around and you wait on the phone to ring, you're going to go penniless. And I'm sorry, guys, that's my ugly mug. So,
you, Dave.
With that, huh?
So I didn't know you were going to do that.
And so now I'm going to open it up to questions and answers. And Rob, how many people, do you know how many people we have on?
We have 18 on right now.
Okay,
and
great.
there are, we have, David wants to know, he goes, and this is something that's I get a lot of questions about too. David wants to know if it's better to go out and look for resellers or people to resell for you than it is to prospect end users. And, you know, I've always said, yes, it's best to pitch to one person who can sell 100 units than it is to pitch 100 times. So I've always advised people to get up early in the morning and go to those breakfast meetings that you don't like to go to and pass out the demo and the business cards and all that stuff. What do you have to say about that?
Well, first of all, David, please send me an email later on with your phone number. I'd actually like to, I want to answer some of that, but I'd really like to get in depth with it with you on the phone, possibly sometime tomorrow. But I'm like you, Rob. Yes. First of all, if you can sell to one person, they can sell to 10. You know, that doesn't take a lot of rocket science. But if you rely just on selling to one person that are going to sell to 10 and they don't, you better be hitting the other ones. I'll give you a perfect example to that. When I started selling a long time ago, I was selling very, very expensive software into the aerospace industry. And my sales manager used to call accounts by two names. We had elephant accounts and we had ducks. And the elephant accounts were, you know, Northrop, Boeing, those kinds of accounts. And ducks were people who will buy one copy or two copy, and that'll be about it. And he really taught me how to slay elephants, and I got very, very good at it. But I'm going to tell you what will kill you, and the elephants will make you successful, and they can make you a failure. If you're only juggling elephants, which are the longest sales cycle there is, you may not make quota if you don't have a whole lot of ducks in there, because the ducks sometimes become your bread and butter to make your numbers. Kind of the same things. Your VARs are going to be elephants, and the other onesie twosies are going to be ducks. And so I definitely would approach VARs, but I certainly would have a plan. I would have testimonials of other VARs, or I would pick a VAR that I'm going to be very, very good with so I can build a testimonial so that you can use that to sell to other VARs. And we'll go over some of that in prospecting, but other places where you can do large type numbers is, you know, some of you obviously aren't in the kinds of cities where this goes on, but, you know, find out when the next large conference for dentists are going to be, or doctors or that kind of thing, and find out if you can possibly have a booth or a table or something where you can see masses at one time, not emailing masses at one time, but seeing masses. And if you do bump into something like that, call me. Maybe Rob and I can help put together something for you to hand out, that type of thing. But that's leaning a little bit more prospecting, and hopefully, David, I was able to answer their question a little bit on that.
Dave, one of the things that some of our most successful service providers have done, especially with resellers, is they've made the best use that I've ever seen of our branding and customization capabilities for the software. They will brand, actually rebrand the software, and they'll call it dental backup or veterinary backup or chiropractic backup. They'll change the software's name. They'll change the graphics. They'll change all kinds of things, and customize it specifically for a particular vertical market. And then they'll go and either sell it individually to the professionals' offices, or they'll partner with a seller of software for those particular industries. Like the restaurant industry, there are people who specialize in selling restaurant software. And if you package, if you build a brand and package our backup software as restaurant management backup software, you can give the salesperson, go into partnership with the salesperson who's selling that, and get him to sell it right along.
Oh, that's an absolutely wonderful idea, and it's one of those things that also eliminates FUD, right? As soon as someone sees something, and it takes away fear and certainty and doubt, when immediately the first thing on is professional product for backing up restaurant businesses. And so they immediately go, oh, okay, this guy knows what I do. You know, he's got a good understanding here. No, I think that's a wonderful idea. I think I should spend some time here in the next couple of weeks trying to maybe work with you at preparing some kind of marketing material that might help that, and maybe those out there that are on today would let us know if that's something they'd like.
And what do you think? I've never asked you this question, Dave, but what do you think about these professional networks of business people who share leads?
Well, you're talking about every little city and every little town and all the little suburbs that have a little business breakfast meeting. Yep. And all the people come together and they're sharing information and everything else. I have a sneaky feeling you draw more business from that than anything else. First of all, all the people sitting there probably aren't backing up. They love little presentations in the morning for those things, and word of mouth from someone other than the person selling is always wonderful. And they have them in every suburb, once a week. They're at Denny's or someplace like that. They're not real expensive. But now what I would do is I don't want to go the first time and come off like a insurance salesman. Thank you, Woody. I think I'd go to the first meeting and pay attention, and maybe go to the second meeting and let them all get to know you, and then go to the third meeting and, try to get someone to ask you what you do. And then when they ask you what you do, bang, you got them. Well, do we have any more questions, Rob?
Got some comments.
Anybody out there?
Yep.
Okay.
Got some comments. David says works a little bit, but most of those are new to business, and they just have, let's see, they just have one workstation, which means competing with the consumer market versus the business market. Let me see. There are a few comments. Just give me a second to read them here.
Oh, sure.
Tom wants to know if I'm allowed to give you a company name of that sells business software, just like you mentioned. Tom's not even sure how to Google that. Yeah, well, yeah, I know how to Google it. So let me just let me just Google some things for you, and that.
I don't know if I understood the question, Rob.
The question is, Tom wants to know what are some brand names of vertical market software.
Okay.
So let me just type in restaurant management software. Restaurant management software. Got a lot of them. Restaurant software, point of sale, restaurant point of sale management system. There's lots and lots and lots of them here. Now let's look at dental management software. Lots of them. Dentrix is the big one, of course, and then Easy Dental, all kinds of things.
Probably all
another
billing
thing we
stuff.
might want to do is, let's say, dental management software sales, Memphis, Tennessee. Let's just see if I can zero it in to find maybe find somebody in Memphis. Yes, sir. That did it. I have found software salespeople in Memphis, Tennessee that specialize in dental management software. So, yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. So,
yeah. I just thought about a phone call tomorrow, Rob. Well, I'd love to have people selling this product that knows the customer better than all of us do, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful idea.
Let's see here. Maria says, in an office with 5 PCs, would you rather sell 5 individual packages or one package backing up over the network? Shoot, it depends, Marius. That depends on how you're. That's really an accounting deal. Some software providers, some service providers sell it as a package deal, and some sell it individually. It is for purposes of technology, our software alone, it's going to be 5 installations, 5 specific, particular installations. But
Rob, I spoke to someone this morning that does just exactly that. We were discussing dental facilities, and most of the dentist's office he sells to, they usually have about 2 computers. And so he's just got basically a rate that he charges them for the office because of the knowledge of what he's backing up. And they're usually just PCs. Yep. If you come across a dental office with a server, they got the money to back up. So, but he's being successful doing that.
A lot of people who address dental offices, they're good. Here's another question, and we get this often. Suppose this is from Les in Tasmania. Les is down there upside down asking, how do you handle the client who says, I want to talk to my IT person before I buy? And IT people usually look at us as a threat to their business.
Well, they do, but this guy wouldn't be asking that question if IT was backing up. The only thing IT might be doing is they may be backing up to a device and taking it home and sticking it under their pillow. And so I would always, if I had to deal with IT, I would do it with open arms, but I would do it in person. And what I would do is, in my mind, I would have a strategy before I went in and saw the IT person, because the person that asked you to speak to IT, I would ask him some questions like, how are you backing up now? I would have that data. So then when I went to see the IT guy, I'd have a strategy that is non-threatening to him.
Right. So you don't want to do anything that's going to make the boss think he's done something wrong. So don't go in there right
Absolutely.
away.
No, you're not going to change.
Still using tape.
First of all, and I wouldn't do that. The IT, you can't change an IT guy. IT's guys, if there's stubborn people in the world, it's an IT guy. So I would offer him a strategy, and I would say, look how we can complement what you're currently doing. Is always a great way of starting it.
Right. Let's see, more questions. A couple of people want to know if we have any up-to-date marketing materials that they can use, and sure we do.
Wow.
It's called the RBS Business Kit, and you can download it online. You have to have your maintenance, your RBS maintenance has to be enforced to have access to it, but it's a lot of material, an awful lot of material in a big downloadable, executable file. And you just go to wherever you download on our website, go to Downloads, and then Software Updates, and enter your serial number and your email address in there, and you'll see the business kit. It's available to everybody.
It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Aaron wants to know if he can have an off-air conference. He wants some help with a 250 location deal. Aaron, absolutely.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Now, today's going to be a bad day for me. Aaron, send me your email with either your serial number or your phone number, and a time tomorrow that would be good for you. Now, we're in Central Time. The first 2 hours tomorrow, I'm going to really be tied up. I've got some stuff we got to do, but I welcome the opportunity to help you with it. And if you like what we discussed, use me as a reference.
Mark says it's a great idea. It would be a good idea to produce a top 10 list of industries requiring or using the software, and that would help identify the best hunting grounds for the sales team. That's a good idea, Mark.
That's a great one.
Do that.
Yeah, that's a great
thing I
one.
might suggest is that those of you who have active maintenance subscriptions with RBS, that you log into the service providers forum and discuss these things. People over there share ideas and articles and marketing material very readily. There's a lot of stuff already there that you can search for. And you can also ask questions. Just log in, post a question, start a conversation. It's a discussion board, and use it.
And you know what, Rob, I need to start taking advantage of it and trying to drive people to get aboard, because, some of these questions have been great.
Outstanding questions for now.
Mm-hmm.
Last chance, if anybody's got any questions, go ahead and post them up there now.
While you guys are thinking of that, I really want to thank you for your time. I think we'll probably draw a few more people under prospecting. Once again, my name is David Branch. I'm at dave@remote-backup.com. I'm at 901-405-1234. My job is to help you, and close business from you. I'm not going to overlook that one. If you're not on maintenance, call me. It makes me real mad that you're off maintenance. But outside that, if we don't have any more questions, Rob, we'll put the... Okay.
Mickey from the great little state of Rhode Island wants to know if dollars, how much do you recommend as incentives to VARs? And is there any particular key to success in using them as resellers?
Well, it's kind of an easy way to answer. And what I think you're talking, I'm going to make an assumption here, and you have to type back and let me know. In other words, you want to use a VAR to help get more business for yourself. You probably
Yep,
want to do the backing up. Yeah, but so what you're going to have to do is come up with a percentage of the monthly charges you're getting or that's going through them. Now, if a VAR means if he brings you a new piece of business, that means he probably has a tremendous relationship. It probably means his customer is going through the VAR to find backup, which means, in all honesty to me, that you can increase your rate enough so you can make the same amount of money and pay the difference to the VAR. Would be one way I would approach it. I don't think somebody's going to go out for multiple quotes from multiple VARs. And I'd build my relationship with the VAR where he had an understanding of exactly what you're doing, because I'm sure your profit margins aren't good enough to pay VARs large amounts of money.
Some resellers like to, some service providers like to pay their resellers a lump sum. For example, they'll pay them the entire first 3 or 6 months of billing for the customers that they bring in. It just depends on the deal that you want to work with your resellers. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's make an assumption that you're like a 5-person company, that type of thing. You know, ACT's a good product, very good product, doesn't cost a lot, does a remarkable, you can customize it very easy, does a remarkable job of emailing and everything else. I cannot live without a CRM system. We use Sugar CRM here. He's got 10 salespeople. So you know, then I would go with a web-based CRM system. Rob, you might want to tell him about, I don't know what Sugar CRM costs or anything, but
well, I
don't
talk
think
about that. Sugar is
okay. Go ahead and tell him.
Sugar is open source. You can download it for free, and it is completely web-based. So you can use it with salespeople spread out around the place. You can access it from your smartphone, from your laptop or tablet, or any place.
Uh-huh.
You log into a web interface, and it's got it really has a lot of cool features. There are several versions of it. I think you just look it up on Google. Google Sugar CRM.
Sugar CRM.
You can
exactly.
download the light version or free version. I forget what they call it. Is adequate. You can also pay for it if you want support from the company that runs Sugar. And also,
well, I would personally, yeah, I would try it out first. I want to let you know the good and the bad news. The bad news is your salespeople will absolutely despise it their first week. By the end of the second week, they will not understand how they ever worked without it. I mean, every one of my phone calls that I need to make myself and remote backup successful are scheduled for tomorrow. They're scheduled for Monday. They're scheduled for Tuesday. If one of you call, I'm going to put you into CRM. We're going to talk. I'm probably going to set up to make another phone call with you. Rob sees me use it. I call every one of my customers 3 days after they give me an order and just say thank you for the order, and then I schedule a phone call. Hi. I don't have to worry about anything. It is going to tell me what I need to do the next day. And I can't live without a CRM system. And so to me, it doesn't matter what you buy as long as you use it. Now, this Sugar CRM will let you forecast. You'll be able to see all the forecast combined in a pie chart from all your sales reps. You can send messages and alerts out to your sales reps through the CRM. You can see the conversations and email traffic they're having with their customers. So it's pretty good. I'm sure Rob keeps an eye on me through it too. So.
Well, that's the one that we use, and we like it. And we've tried 3 others, including ACT and including including the Act for Teams and the big deal, expensive version of it. And we've tried, I guess we've tried 5 different CRMs over the past 10 years, and this is the one that we like the best. There's also 3 other people have popped in and said that they recommend Commit CRM because it's designed for IT support. That's
oh, wow.
COMMIT, Commit CRM.
Excellent. Hey, Rob, maybe we ought to start selling contact management software. Rob, maybe we should start selling CRM software.
How about no?
I'm kidding. Any more questions?
Nope. I think that's it.
Well,
if there are any questions, Go ahead.
Well, I definitely appreciate everybody's time. Okay, so unless you send me an email saying that you think a webinar on prospecting would be boring, that's what I'm going to work toward. We'll probably have it in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm trying to do them all on Thursday at 3, so it's kind of a reminder to everybody. And so if you need me, call me. If you want me to call you, send me an email. I'm going to put this ship in the dock and head on. Thank you for your time.
Thanks very much, Dave. Again, let me remind you guys that the webinar has been recorded, and it'll be posted on our website a little bit later. Go to our blog to get the actual URL. The blog address is blog.remote-backup.com. Give us about an hour to get it converted to a Windows Media format and uploaded properly to blog.remote-backup.com. Also, email Dave if you have any questions or comments about this or future webinars. His email is dave@remote-backup.com. And you can also phone us, and also be sure you have your credit card in your hand when you do. Dave, you like that?
Yeah, and if you're off maintenance, give me a call. I want to get you back on maintenance, and I'll work with you.
And what's that phone number?
901-405-1234.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Dave, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.